check because this is take 2 because we're technologically challenged.
That we are. That we are.
Yep, we're good.
It's working.
We're good.
Ben's computer is being finicky.
Yeah.
We're out here in the shop, killing it.
Yep. Name of the game?
Roll with it. Scored $2 right off the bat. Boom, boom, right before the show.
Yep. Yep. Well, we're getting a little late start. But
what'd they score?
165 and change.
And these are Wayne Countyers.
Were they Wayne Countyers?
Wow.
I didn't even look at the guy's sheet.
Wayne.
Yep, Wayne and Ontario.
All right, Wayne and an Ontario.
Yep.
So we had a 156 and a 164.
65.
65.
Yep, 165, 5/8. That was a big 10 with a flyer.
And that 156 was a straight perfect 8-point. I don't know if you can get a better 8-point than that.
Yeah, 26-inch beams, 24-inch beams. Deer had 50 inches of beams.
Insane. And its
That's
inside spread, I believe, was 22.
Yeah, both of them really wide deer. 22, and then the other one was 24. So,
beautiful bucks.
Yep.
One was shot early 2000s. The other one was shot about 10, 15 years ago.
Yeah, 2006 and then 2011.
Yeah.
Yep.
Beautiful deer. So thank you for the individual that brought them out. They wanted to remain nameless.
Yep. Absolutely.
Which is, we would like to respect that.
Yep.
We got 2 sponsors now.
2 sponsors. So if you look up in this upper corner, you'll see our 100 Proof logo. First sponsor of the show is Busy Bee Chiropractic. Should be coming up right about now.
Gonna work it? Maybe not.
It's coming. There it is.
It is.
Busy Bee Chiropractic in Newark, New York, for all of your chiropractic and wellness needs. Go see Dr. Britt and get fixed up today.
Britt does a great job.
Yep.
I've been to multiple chiropractors. Britt, I feel like, always is kind of like personalized my, to what is bothering me. A lot of chiropractors I felt like I went to, I always got
snap, crack, and pop.
It's like the same routine, in and out, in and out, in and out. You tell Britt what's bothering you, and she
straightens you out.
Yeah, she's a little more personal with it, which greatly appreciated.
Yep. Got the sauna over there. They got a wellness specialist. They got all sorts of stuff.
They got a masseuse now.
Yep. Yep. Legit massage therapist as well as a chiropractor.
Right over there in Newark.
Just off of Route 88. I forget the side street. I apologize. And then our other show sponsor, M&R Firewood, right here in Phelps, New York. They also have a roadside stand just south of Smoking Pete's along Seneca Lake. So, thank you guys very much. You're the ones that help the lights on and keep the show coming to everybody. So, thank you guys very much, Meg and Rick and Dr. We'll keep their logos on and off during the show. We'll kind of swap them on and off as we go through the episode. We'll leave them out there. They're a brand new one. And then Dr. Britt is second episode with her. The third. Second. So,
second with Britt. First with
M&R
Firewood.
So, thank you guys very much.
Rick's a great guy. If you need firewood for the winter or camping or whatever, just look him up, get a hold of him. He'll work with you. He's a very nice guy.
Yep, we took some of their bundles when we went camping at Cayuga. So, absolutely no complaints.
Used to do a lot of hound hunting with Rick.
Yeah, back in the day you were saying that. Yeah. Absolutely. So, thank you to those businesses, and please support the businesses that support us in the 100 Proof family. Dang it, Mel. Dog's hitting the camera. It's fine. She didn't knock it over. She's going to try to pull that cord off, though.
She will.
So, a lot of stuff going on. It's hot. It's dry. Surprise, we didn't get rain today.
I don't
Spoiler
know.
alert.
Everyone says it's breaking up, but I'm doing my rain dance.
Yep.
Hopefully, this is my rain dance. Hopefully, tomorrow or Friday, we will get something.
Here's to hoping, dude, because it's drilled in like 7 acres of brassicas today. So, we'll see how that goes.
I got stuff planted a week ago and I ain't got no rain.
Yeah, I know, dude. stuff's just sitting right now. So hopefully you don't have like fresh germ plots from like a couple weeks ago when we got that blaster in. Probably burn them out. Um, but I guess that's a good segue topic into one. Too late to plant brassicas right up till September 1st.
Yeah, to the end of August.
And then if you're going after that, Labor Day time frame, definitely just heavy tillage radish, something that gets really good immediate growth.
Or if you're really late,
Rye or wheat. Yep.
wheat.
Yep. You can plant that right up to October 1 and cross fingers you don't get an early frost. And just up your seed. And Labor Day and September is a great time to get your clover plots in. So
And once them beans start browning,
hit the 100 proof to the top, which
waterproof to the top. Get
I've
yourself a nice little carpet under there.
I've seen the beans looking a little sad, so it might be a prime year for
Might have some thin beans.
might have some early dropping leaves on the beans. So I had a comment roll in on the video. Got to pull it up here on my phone because I can't see it. Episode. Can't hear you talk louder. Volume's maxed. I don't know if that's better or not. Let us know if the audio's still not going. We were wondering because it seemed like the snowball wasn't bouncing before for whatever reason.
The computer, all right?
Yeah, we're tapped in. Wondering what's going with that. Wondering if it's not bouncing, man.
Yeah.
All right, let's see if we can jump it over to the video. Better?
Let us know if that's any better. It doesn't really look like it from our end.
Yeah. I don't know. What about that?
A little bit.
That's jumping a little bit.
Better. That's jumping. That's jumping. Damn snowball number 2. We need a different mic.
Might be the cord. I don't know. So hopefully that fixed it. Andy, thanks for the heads up to let us know that we're sounding a little light. So,
Hall?
Andy Bish,
Andy Bish.
just down the road.
Just down the road.
He's not on a job site. So, yeah, we were talking about the sponsors that we had: M&R Firewood, Phelps, and then South Smoke of Pizza, and then Dr. Britt. So, apologize if you guys didn't hear that off the get go with it. So, hopefully the audio is better now. We'll see how that worked. Andy, let us know, or whoever is watching, let us know what you're seeing and thinking on it. But yeah, so about saving food plots and just this dry weather, dude. There's still plenty of time. Don't give up on. Go get eyes on them and just see what you're dealing with in your plots. So that's the long and the short of it. You got to get out there and you got to look at what you got going on in your fields. So anyway, so we need a rain dance, Nate. We need your rain dance again. You better keep rain dancing.
This is my rain dance.
Yeah. Try to make it fly for us.
So, where's that thing? Audio?
Yeah.
We go to here?
Yep. Yeah, we're bouncing.
It picks you up good. Oh, it's picking me up. I gotta lean in. Is there another USB port you could plug that? Looks like there's one over here. Try plugging it over here. See if it works any better. It's some BS.
All right. Nate says, "Don't give up on the snowball yet."
It just works so much better with the snowball.
It does sound crisper and cleaner usually. Switching.
Check. Nah. All right, go back.
Not bouncing anything.
That one's bouncing. That one's doing something.
Do we just have to talk louder? I guess.
Well, it seems to be bouncing a little better over here.
Yeah,
Whatever that means.
that's the mic. So, all right. I guess we're rolling with just that. We just got to speak up a little bit.
Well, let us know if you can hear us any better, please.
We're just technologically challenged,
Yeah.
unfortunately. So,
But anyways, we're talking about the dry weather and food plots.
so yeah, I think I'm getting ready to put in a big order of rye and wheat if anybody's looking. Um, got some good questions rolling in from Andy Bish on the Facebook side of it. Um, yeah, so let's see Andy's thing. Andy says it is better, so we're gonna roll with this. Andy's comment rolls in, says my beans are money as hell. I have Eagle Seed Forge North going. All brassicas and other sucks I have planted is an issue because of the spray. Straight grass killers are ineffective on anything not Roundup ready. Are you guys spraying for straight grasses that's bulk? Arrest Max is all right, but costs too much. Yeah, so Arrest is going to be your clethodim base grass killer. The one thing I will say is look at your grass you may have. Some of the stuff I've seen folks think is a grass is a broadleaf called plantain. It looks a lot like a grass. You see it a lot in your yards. Some people call it wire grass. It's actually a broad, so your spray won't kill it, and it's one that pops up in the late summer. So that's one that's often mistaken for a grass in a food plot. The other one is sedges, and sedges do not really respond well if it's a little bit of a wetter plot. Andy says, "Can I somehow submit pics on this?" You can send them right to my Facebook, Andy, and I can look at them and see what you're dealing with.
Messenger,
Or
preferably.
Facebook Messenger, and or you can text it over to me. We can see what we got. But yeah, no grasses. So the thing with sedges, the sedges have edges. Is an easy way to remember that. You kind of roll it in your thumb and you'll feel it's got an edge to the stem. It's very faint, but you can kind of do that. So it could be that the weeds you think are grasses,
So it's like
or a broadleaf,
spaghetti,
or whatever.
but
Spaghetti
then
versus
you angel hair.
yeah, you got it.
Same idea. Spaghetti's thick. Angel hair is like
It's kind of that broader.
the thinner.
Yep. Yeah. So
You know, I don't know if that was a good example, but that's fine.
yep. So yeah, you can roll it in your finger and you can kind of feel the edges to it.
I also haven't eaten dinner yet, so
You're hungry. You think of spaghetti.
I was thinking
We do have a special viewer submission, and I think old Dan Festa is watching. I think it says on the Facebook side of stuff. So
Now Dan says if we drink this and we start shaking, we need to go to the hospital.
Has anybody tried this yet? This bad?
I looked it up. It's a real thing.
Well, I know it's a real thing.
I tried it earlier today.
Oh, and you're fine.
I shook for a while, but I'm good now.
You shook for a while, but I'm good now.
Dan also wanted me to tell you that, Ben, if you start swelling, go to the emergency room.
Great.
Immediately.
Oh, great.
Are you good with honey?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're good with honey. So, Dan introduced me to this. It's called sumac lemonade, and it is. Okay, so a lot of people get sumac and poison sumac confused. Now, poison sumac actually has white berries on it. Sumac with the red berries is actually not poisonous or harmful to you in any way. You can honestly pick the red berries and chew on them. It's not going to hurt you.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
So you take the red berry, you soak it, you mash it up, and you make like a tea out of it, more or less. They call it lemonade, but you make a tea out of it. I'm not going to give all of the details.
You kind of steep it down.
Yeah, you steep it down, you boil it, steam it, and then you can bottle it, jar it, however you want. But the health benefits of this stuff, it's an old Indian remedy.
Mm-hmm.
What they used to call them, the witch doctor or whatever.
Oh, medicine man?
Medicine man. So it says, helps to strengthen body, cardiovascular conditions, reduces inflammation, helps to reduce severity of varicose veins and hemorrhoids, can help with rheumatoid arthritis and gout.
Mm-hmm.
Can help to dry out sinuses due to colds, allergies, and sinus infections. So, like your common cold, if you drink this, it's
like a natural.
It's like a natural remedy
Mm-hmm.
for. And I did look it up on Google. There's different recipes for it and whatnot. So Dan has been out there, and I swung by his house, and he gave us a sampler. This one. He gave us a plain sampler, and this one he added a little honey. I guess you can add like maple syrup or honey to it to give it a little sweet.
Yep.
Otherwise, it's just kind of like unsweetened tea. So, thank you, Dan. We're going to give it a little shake. We're going to give it a shot.
I thought you already had it.
Hmm?
I thought you already had a bit.
Not the honey.
Oh, just had the straight sumac.
Pretty tasty, really. Not bad.
It's not quite like iced tea. I don't know how to explain it. I'm not a big tea guy, but
I mean,
solid.
it don't
I like
taste
the. I
bad.
like.
I definitely like it better with the honey in it. But
Gotcha.
Dan, I always have a sweet tooth.
Yep.
So, but
Andy.
yeah, so we're trying that out.
Mhm.
And thank you, Dan, for sharing that little bit of family knowledge that you have passed down and you informed me of.
So is this one of those things where is that like a serving size, or is that like a week's supply, or like can you overdo it with it? Basically, is it like you take a couple ounces?
Look into that. I figured, just
I don't want to like.
just
I don't want to
swaggle.
go. Yeah, I don't want to
Just
go
a
hammering
swaggle.
it in case it
We're
makes me
doing
a
a
little.
swaggle because neither of us are sick in any way. I'm
Yep.
sure it's not going to hurt us in any way.
Sure.
But
I mean, if we're sick, we're both sick now because we both drank out of it.
But a lot of people don't know the difference between poison sumac and sumac.
Like staghorn sumac. Yep.
Yeah, like a lot of people think sumac is just poisonous. Those trees with the red berries.
Mhm.
They're actually not.
Yeah. The red berries are the females. Those are the devil.
Yeah, devil.
But no. So yeah. So the red berries are actually male trees. So there's males and female sumacs.
Mm-hmm.
So for the staghorn sumac. So if you see the red berries, you're looking at a girl. If you didn't know that, the males have big spikes on them. You'll see them kind of. All of them will have red berries, and there'll be a patch of them with no red berries. The ones with no red berries, those are the males.
And with the sumac, you can actually take the leaves, dry them out, crush them up, and it is equivalent to tobacco.
Oh, so you can smoke it too, or chew it, or whatever you want to do with it.
Yep.
Interesting. The things you know, the things you learn.
Things you learn from people.
Yep. So, Andy sent over a couple pictures to the phone.
So thank you, Dan.
Yep. Thank you, Dan. And couple topics I saw with this. So he's got a summer blend. He says it's full of trash. It could be the stuff that's in the mix. Tough to
Is it
say.
your stuff?
No, it's not. None of it is my seed. I said Esco summer blend. He says it's full of trash. I don't know if that's the varieties that are in it that might look trashy or whatever. It's been a tough summer. I mean, we see corn right now that's like wilting and curling up hard. Needs rain. Ground's cracked out. His beans look really solid. He sent me a picture.
A lot of beans look pretty good.
Yeah, but I think because of the browse pressure on those beans, dude, those are prime beans for a 100-proof broadcast over the top or a Nebraska blend.
Yep. So when they dry out, Andy, you can get a nice green carpet underneath them.
Yep, a brassica. So, and then he says his clover looks like shit. So, I've never been a fan of spring planted clover, because you get a tough dry summer like this. And a lot of weed competition through the growing season. So what I like to do is plant them like we were talking at the beginning of the show, plant them around like Labor Day, September time with like a wheat nurse crop or an oat nurse crop or something like that. That way you control all those weeds that you're now fighting because you planted in the spring, whereas you're controlling them all now going into the fall plant so that those plants can, because naturally clover right now is going to seed. So you're following the life cycle of clover, essentially by planting in the fall versus spring planting. Spring planting, it works and it can be effective, but it's trickier, especially with the hot summer like this. It's hard because those plants are so little right now. And clover doesn't do that great in drought conditions. So, but yeah, so for those fall plots like that, Andy, I would say work on, for your clover, if it's worth saving, try to get the other weeds sprayed out of it, and get ready to plant it. If you're gonna replant it into clover, I would get it planted in, probably somewhere around Labor Day, with oats or wheat, probably. That'd probably be your best bet for
Right.
making that, or rye,
Just
light,
scratch it.
light rye.
Scratch the whole thing, go then.
Yeah, light rye, because if you go too heavy on the rye, it doesn't let clover take off that good underneath. That's the
Get
one.
rid of the clover, just rye.
Yeah, so we're getting to that point where, I'm putting a big wheat order in, big rye order in. I think the rye came out to like 16, 17 bucks a bag, something like that. And wheat actually is quite expensive. The wheat now for on list, which is what I want, is like 23 bucks a bag. So, which has jumped fairly considerably. Both of those have jumped, a couple bucks a bag. So yeah, it's one of those things, dude, where, seed's not cheap. I've tried to keep the 100 proof down. I think it's still, pretty economically priced. Actually not getting containers back as I thought.
Got one here.
I know. I got one from Nate. Nate brings his containers back.
That wasn't me.
No.
That was Dan.
Oh, that's Dan's container. Sorry, Dan. I owe you $5, by the way, for your container deposit. So
Well, Dan actually said, he goes, well, for the lemonade, the container, and he said something else. You actually owe him 15.
15.
That's what he said.
That how much it costs?
It's expensive. It's good stuff.
Shouldn't have took the sip.
That's the cure all right there.
Yeah. So
I'm starting to shake.
and then this year, with the seed containers and stuff like that, if you have another container or a bucket, I've had guys show up with a bucket. You bring your own container, and then you don't get the $5 charge, and you won't get a $5 deposit either. But if you show up, if you want to put it in a bag, we'll put it in a bag. If you want to put it in a 5-gallon bucket or something, I've had guys that want to do that. We'll save you the $5 on the container charge. So just let us know when we do custom orders. We've been cranking out some custom acreage sizes because we hand mix everything, or I hand mix everything. We can get your plot size exactly right. So you're not overseeding, which is super critical with grass, because you don't want to overseed them. You'll get yellowing, purple if they're deficient and stuff like that. You can see a lot of discoloration in them, and they just outcompete each other, and they won't produce bulbs when they're planted in that type. They just outcompete each other. So that's why getting that seeding rate and that acreage size is so critical for those food plots. With brassica species, corn's another one that's the same way. So, yeah, Andy's got some good looking plots back in the woods and stuff like that. Sending in some pictures. They look good. Your brassicas might be a little thick though. Yeah, a little yellowing, a little purpling. So probably get them a hit of fert if you got the fertilizer to do them. Because if they're too thick and overseeded, you're gonna run into issues with just not getting bulb production out of them, which is we want those brassica spores. Obviously the leafies for early season, but then the late season bulbs for going into the late season and then into the winter time. So, but yeah, so I think it's not too late for brassicas up until the next 2 weeks, 3 weeks. You're pretty good still. Yeah, and then obviously wheat and rye.
But, yeah. I'm going back to the sumac.
Going back to sumac, hit it again.
No.
We
No,
talked
like,
about the
enough.
sumac before being like great buck bedding.
That's what I was getting into.
Makes great
If
tea
you
and great
have-
buck bedding.
If you want fast growing bedding, sumac.
If you can keep the deer off of it, 100%, because they love it, man.
Yeah.
So
Creates good thermal cover, it's thick.
good browse.
You can create those little hidey holes that bucks like to hide out in.
Mhm. You got some like goldenrod field type stuff where you can put some sumac in with it. Yep. And you can go out in the wintertime berries. I mean, they're hanging into the late winter, typically. So
I'm not sure with the lemonade. There might be a certain time frame for them to get them for that harvesting. But you'd have to do the research.
So, other than that, dude, we keep saying this every episode. We got to get out to the lease. We got to get some cameras out. I finally got my cameras out the other day, or over the last couple weeks. Couple familiar faces are showing back up, which is good to see. Old Tune and Fork still around, and his squirrely self. Hank's made an appearance. Didn't grow a whole heck of a lot. Kind of surprised actually, but he could be like Crafty was, like he puts it on a lot late here in August. Because Crafty, we were saying that last year, we were like, man, I figured he would make a jump, and then all of a sudden it was like you pulled the cameras last week of July, and then like middle of August he showed back up, and it's like almost like, oh, he was just waiting for that last growth push. I'm sure the dry weather's been hard on him too. Keeping water and stuff like that, because that's huge for this, picking up mineral and stuff from the water. But there's still a good amount of green out there. I mean, the yards are yelling out, but the stuff in the fields and stuff is still pretty good shape. For the browse.
Could use some rain.
We need some rain. It's not could, we need it. So, yeah. So if anybody has any fixes for a rain dance, or somebody needs to do a rain dance, I know Nate will do it a couple more times before the end of the show, but yeah, get the rain dance going. We need it. We need folks at home to rain dance. So if you're watching on your couch right now and your wife sees you over there going, just be like, rain dance, hashtag rain dance. So that'll be a nice little snippet. David Todd sending in a message, might make the hit list. I wonder if this is this the same buck? Dave?
Dan said sumac ready when it turns velvet red.
Okay, so it's gotta be once it's red. Gotcha. I'm wondering if that might be. I don't know. Do you think that's the same buck Dave sent in? The one from we talked about in a previous episode. Oh. I think he's got better brows. I think it's a different deer.
Could be.
Looks like it. Looks like the one from the pond has got better brows, Dave. But that one's a solid 8.
Yeah, it's a nice buck.
Yeah, good across the shoulders. Both of those ones are good across the shoulders. So Dan says, yeah, sumac's ready when it turns velvet. Yep. And then pick those female bears.
Okay.
Yep.
Make yourself some sumac lemonade.
Yep. You just looked up a quick recipe off of Google, I think.
Yeah.
When you looked at kind of the properties of it and stuff like that, when you gave the description about it.
Got a lot of good stuff, benefits from it.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I would definitely look into how much you're allowed to drink of it at one time.
Yeah, if it's like
I'm not so sure about that. Dan might know.
dosage thing.
Dan would probably know.
Yep. So, yeah. No, I think that's a great looking buck, Dave. Have you done any serial killer shit? I think that's what we called it the one episode where you watched them other than like from your deck while you're enjoying a whiskey. Have you snuck in there like Nate said, and here's what a serial killers. Well, yeah, I don't know.
Start getting obsessed.
Yeah. Obsessed. I just need to find time to get the cameras out at the lease and the other properties I hunt. And get stands trimmed. At this rate, Nate, we'll be trimming stands and it won't be the hottest day of the year. I mean, we kind of we'll be breaking tradition.
Oh, might not be good.
Yeah. These 90-degree days is what we end up having for a free day to go get our stands trimmed. And we always joke it's either the hottest day when we're doing stands, or it's like when we were doing that habitat project at your lease, it was like the coldest day. It was like wind chill, like below 0.
Hey,
and just
we got her done.
We did. And it looked good. And the boulevard got a whole bunch of good stuff there. So for the lease, I mean, we got what, 2 new stands to go in over there that we're thinking. One up in the cherry tree, the sniper spot.
Mm-hmm.
And then I get something probably southeast, I'm thinking, would be pretty good out of that spot. Or southwest, we'll get a couple cameras in there and see what way they come out. I think they kind of come from the west, so maybe the southwest is probably the better. Right. Because they kind of funnel out there. There's a couple big trails that come out on it, but all that, we thought it was gonna be beans this year, so we were gearing up to put some 100 proof out there in the beans. But they put it to corn again for another year, so we'll see. But yeah, I've been out there a couple times, I just haven't got cameras out with it. So, I got them all geared up, I got the batteries in them, SD cards in them. Just got a few new SD cards, to swap out from some of my smaller SD cards. Because some of the cameras I was having last year were filling up, the ones I left out all season. So I went and jumped up and got some 16 GB cards to make sure I had enough photos on there. Yeah, I got a couple cameras on video mode. I always like to see that summer velvet and really get a good look at some of these deer. And then they'll get a fresh set of batteries before season. So yeah, but the farm's all deployed. The farm's deployed. Just got to get to the other pieces now. Yep, and we're just waiting for rain for the food plots. I mean, I drilled in like 7 acres today on a piece that I do a little bit of planting for, and trying to conserve as much soil moisture as I can, getting it drilled in, but it was still hard, dude, like concrete in some spots. So got a little thatch, so I'm hoping that helps, and we'll hit it, but it's not looking great. The forecast was looking good this morning. I rolled out, I was on the tractor by quarter after 6 this morning. So, and then just I got sprinkled on, and I was like, all right, here we go. And then went to a quick afternoon appointment before I jumped back on the tractor, and then got here to score those deer and do the show. And it's like, it ain't raining.
It's not raining.
No, it's muggy. The mugginess definitely rolled, and I'm glad I brought the.
I mean, even the dew isn't really even on.
No, it's because it's so dry. I think tonight we'll have a little bit. But again, it looks like we're not gonna get any potential rain even until maybe next week. So, don't give up or overseed those plots just yet. If you got brassicas in the ground and you just have, they'll sit there on the soil for, I was talking to my buddy Ryan about this, brassicas sit there on the soil as long, especially if it's got a little soil coverage to it, or if you got it, down in some thatch. It's not gonna scorch out necessarily, you'll be good for 2 weeks or so, Same thing if you sprayed your plots and you're not getting a lot of dieback, just a little yellowing. It's because the plant's not actively growing. As soon as you get rain on them, that stuff that's yellowing, that glide really kicks into gear when that plant's growing. So right now, when it's kind of stagnant or the plant's shut down to save energy, you're not gonna get a bunch of kill. You get a rain on it and it'll brown up overnight. So what's your big plan? I know you got a good one on camera on one of your pieces. What's your, I guess, game plan with that deer going into the first part of season, or if it doesn't work out early, or
Two cameras he seems to be showing up on regularly. If he does stay on that, it's kind of wait for the right.
We say that now, but like we'll have that conversation where it's like, hey man, it's second week of September, and the one that I was looking for or whatever showed up, and like started getting a little nervous, because you do never know. Sometimes they just disappear. They do, ones that you think made it through or whatever. Cars, coyotes, winter, whatever. Um, but yeah, I'm not typically worried.
No, they'll be around. They're in the area.
Yep.
They usually always are. I mean, honestly, in my opinion, the hardest time to hunt them was actually during the rut.
For predictability of any kind, sure.
Yeah, you never really know when they're gonna daylight or when they're gonna walk.
Yeah.
It's kind of sporadic. I honestly prefer hunting them. But I mean, it's always exciting. You never know what's gonna come through deer.
Swear there's something in the air, dude. See, like now it's hitting again. I swear there's something in with this heat, because even I had phone calls the other day, dude, that were cutting out, and I was driving down 31 in Newark. There shouldn't be issues with audio or phone calls and stuff. So I'm wondering if Canada wildfires, I don't know, something.
Who knows? But yeah, we got the chicken barbecue coming up.
Tickets should be available this weekend. We are taking, some people have given us cash for pre-orders or whatever you want to call
Yeah.
it.
And you will have the option of, takeout, or if you want to stay for the raffles, and we are a novelty shoot. So if you're interested, bring your bow down.
Yep.
There'd be a chance to win some prizes there.
We're doing food at 3, but it's pre-order only on the food. We're not surplus is necessarily a chicken.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
right,
yeah, that's kind of what we're thinking.
3, 4 o'clock. I'm thinking maybe we open the doors at 3, and then 4. Phelps Fire Hall. We'll have a little pre-season get together, talk hunting, have a little fun with some raffles. I believe all the proceeds that we get, everything we come out ahead, we're going to donate to FFA.
Yeah, FFA or a youth sporting, the sporting shooting team or something like that.
Yeah. Decided we're going to do that instead of the lifetime license like we did last year.
Yeah, we're gonna give it all back to the kids.
We'll see what the feedback is from people on that, but
Yep.
Trying some different things, and just kind of looking forward to get together with some hunters and talk deer hunting right before season.
Yeah. So the only thing that we're reimbursing or whatever, chicken, the sides, and then anything we buy for some of the raffles and stuff like that. So anything after those expenses are taken care of doesn't go to the show or any of that stuff. It goes to the kids. That's the way we're doing the get together this year for the party. So I think that's a cool way to do it, and I think it helps get more kids outdoors and involved. We got local FFA chapters, shooting sports teams,
4-H.
and local 4-H. It's going to go to that. So
Something kids outdoors.
Yep. So
just haven't narrowed it down yet.
Yep. Well, we might give some here, some there, split it up between a couple different groups too. So yeah, Caleb says they're cutting in and out on the audio a bit. So that's good to know. I don't know what it was. I mean, it says we got some intermittent signal on the screen or whatever with it, so we'll see. I don't know. Maybe we gotta figure out. My laptop's probably the weak link in this equation. But I don't know. Sorry, folks, if we're not coming clear with it. We had mic issues. It wasn't starting up right away, so I don't know.
Always something.
We're trying to do this. Somebody's honking. They're gone. But so what's everybody else doing going into season, everything like that? I know we got stands to hang, just a couple. Other than that. Okay. Gotcha. So yeah, stands hang, food plots going in, cameras going out. Other than that, you guys gotta be shooting your bow. Heritage has outdoor targets right now available to utilize if you pay the course, fee or whatever. Not really enough time to get a summer league scores in if you're just starting now, but I've shot in the yard. Got to get some more time to get over there and shoot more. Me and Nate were saying
He's in the hot tub. I
Oh.
saw him I heard him getting his electric car, and
And then
kinda
the car,
zoomed around.
yeah.
And he must have went around the house and got in the hot tub with his mom.
Yep. Gotcha.
That must have been James again.
Yep. Never swings in.
He will one of these times, I'm sure.
Yep. So, I was talking about how important it is to shoot your bow.
Yeah.
But if for whatever reason you don't have it dusted off or whatever, bring it to the shindig. We're gonna have a novelty shoot. We're not gonna give it away or tell you what it is, but there'll be a novelty shoot, and there might be a couple other 3D targets we got set up to just, have a little friendly competition, a horse or something, or best arrow, mixed in. But we do have a novelty shoot plan, and you could walk out of there with $100 bill from it.
I think that's the plan.
I think that's the plan. That's the only teaser we'll give you on it. So, bring your bow, bring a few arrows. It'll be a good time. Something else to go on during that day. So, keep it fun, keep it light, man.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes down to everything and prep, I mean, I'm pretty well set. I mean, the food plot kind of is what it is at this point. I'm not gonna go in there, and I'm not really gonna mess with it. I'm not gonna intrude. So I'm gonna spend as little time out there as I possibly can.
Well, you might go back in there, Labor Day time. If it's not looking good, you might hit it with some rye or something.
Yeah, maybe.
Mhm.
We'll see. It all depends on what the cameras are showing me, and then really the only thing I gotta do is I gotta go in there and just trim stands.
So just trimming stands, which usually we take a day of it. At my farm, it's usually a day, especially now that we got them cleaned up good.
Knock my spot out.
Yeah. Yeah, it was usually an after work day.
Yeah.
Get the kids figured out for some
They
place to
shouldn't
put
be
them.
bad. I mean, we trim them up.
Yeah, trim them up, check your straps. That's a big thing. They probably are gonna pop because the trees have been growing all year. Or if it's been a couple years, you might want to think about replacing your straps. I get a few years out of mine, but I also loosen mine after every deer season.
Yeah.
So I know some guys that take their stands down completely every year. I have too many for that.
It's too much.
Yeah.
It's too much for me.
But the big thing is, getting comfortable with your equipment, shooting your bow, making sure you're good if you're doing any hang and hunt stuff. Get out there and get some practice in, with your setup and the comfortability with that to be able to, set up effectively and quietly. Make sure you're not missing any pieces. Like it seemed to be when me and Nate turkey hunted this year, I was missing this or missing that because I didn't do my prep like I usually do. But
It'll work out.
yeah, it'll work out. So it's supposed to be fun. But
Can't make it all work.
nope, nope. Other than that, had missed the opportunity. We had Jesse and Connor on, and it was episode 69. It was 68. We lost count.
Yeah.
So this is episode 70. If people at home are tuning in or whatever. So we getting there, man. By deer season, we'll be knocking on the door to pretty close to 100 by the end of deer season.
Yeah.
Be real close. Yeah,
Exciting.
thanks everybody for the support. Interested in sponsoring, we've been flashing the sponsors up here in this corner, all show. Please support the folks that are supporting us, that help keep the lights on. So, yeah, Busy Bee and then M&R Firewood are our first two official sponsors of the show. So, still waiting for the call from Blue Chew. I mean, we shout them out every show, but
Yeah. They'll get back to us.
we did see, we were looking at some of our analytics before we started. We're seeing a spike in activity, on the page. Partly because I think we got, shorts rolling out from the shows and stuff like that. So, which actually we probably gotta catch up on it pretty soon, because I think we were probably right around this time was when we were booked to. But we'll get
We might be able to get a few out by the end of the show.
Yeah, we'll clip a few out of this show, obviously, and keep it rolling. So, but other than that, man, the shop looks good. You got good equipment coming in. You got a really nice dig. Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah, speaking of that, we gotta put a big buck on that this year, dude.
will happen.
Yeah.
Give her time. Give her time.
Does anybody have any pressing questions? We haven't had a lot of comments come in. We've had some good photos, shared into us off air. But other than that, just trying to, help folks out. We haven't got a lot of viewer comments lately, which, obviously we're keeping hopefully people entertained with it, if that's the case. But we do want to hear what you guys, have questions on or whatever. Andy had some good questions about food plots and shared some of what he's having good success with. His beans are rolling really good, but he's struggling with some stuff. Yeah, I'd be really curious about his grass, and that's where, the right weed control or the steps in putting those plots together with like your soil tests, your spraying, your seed selection for like your plot size, your conditions. I had some folks reach out to buy seed, and then I started talking to them about their plot, and I'm like, you don't need, like the 100 proof OG mix isn't your fit. You need to go Rye, or you need to go Clover because it's shady or wet. For an example. So just kind of read the situation and the plot. Your breast. Weeds and stuff, knowing the weeds you're controlling, and then controlling them with the right chemical. Or the right management strategy, whether it's like mowing for broadleaves or whatever. So, yeah, I don't know, man. My brain's kind of fried. I've been on a tractor all day, and then I scored deer. It's been a moving day.
It's been a busy day. I mean, we're almost at that hour mark.
Yep. So,
Call it a little short tonight.
yeah, I think we're in good shape. If anybody does have any comments, feel free to drop them in.
Run up some clips. No, a friend of mine was talking to me about what my thoughts were on multiple stands in the same tree, one on either side. Way, depending on the deer, kind of adjusts.
Gotcha.
And I guess I kind of thought, I guess if it's a really big tree, it's got a lot of branches in it, it's not bad.
So the one thing is, I think that would make it a little tough with multiples is that's a lot of movement to climb from stand to stand. And then like, if you're going like, sneeze. Well, it's a sumac tea. I'm allergic.
Swamp.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I kind of feel itchy around the eyes. Maybe. Yeah, so I guess stepping around the tree, it's a lot of movement, but I mean, a lot of those guys on the saddle talk about walking around the tree, stuff like that with their, step platforms or aider steps or whatever. I don't know. We don't do saddles, so maybe we can get somebody on the saddle hunch a little bit.
He put 2 ladder stands
Back to back.
back to back
That's interesting.
because where he's hunting is like in the smack dab middle of a food plot.
So to be
And
able
he's
to,
got deer coming from a lot of different directions.
the tricky part with that would be the, what wind direction do you hunt it with? Well, I mean, okay, so if you're going like the plots, the wind's coming off the plot going back toward your axis or something, and be able to shoot, 180 degrees worth or whatever, that makes sense.
I mean, I could see some advantages to it. I definitely don't think it's an every spot thing.
No, sometimes you're sitting there and you're struggling thinking, how am I gonna get a ladder in that tree to begin with, let alone two? So if you got kind of the cool, gnarly, multi-stem broccoli top tree that kind of lends itself to that, I think it's definitely a cool and unique setup, for sure.
I mean, even for like even if you brought a buddy to do like a camera.
Well, you could, yeah, I was just gonna say that too, you could have the guy, well, here you go, you got one camera between the two stands. And if the deer's on the right side of the tree, it's yours, Nate. If he's on the left side of the tree, it's mine. And the camera gets run off the back shoulder of whoever. I'm just picturing like, sitting like this, cameras like this, and it's like, all right, Ben's shooting this way, Nate's shooting that way. Kind of like we set up for turkeys sometimes. Hey, if the bird comes in on the right, dude, he's yours. Comes in on the left, I'll cover the backside or whatever.
Yeah, I could definitely see some.
Yeah.
See some positives to it.
Yeah. Upstate Hunting comments and says, second stand's good for your cameraman. Absolutely. Echoing, thinking the same thoughts on
He
that.
was typing it while we were
Saying it.
before we were saying it.
You got it. Yeah. So, yeah, that's definitely a cool, unique idea. Yeah, we got some viewers a little bit everywhere. We got some on my page, my personal page, the Hunter Proof page. There's somebody tuning in over there, and we got some folks tuning in on the YouTube channel side of it too. So a little bit of viewers from everywhere. So yeah, we like being able to put it on multiple platforms. Everybody watches it different ways. Some folks listen to it after the fact, through Apple Podcast or Spotify or whatever. They get posted up either tonight or usually Thursday or Friday, depends on sometimes when I got the time to do it. But the one thing that I think has kept me from getting hands done and some of my cameras out, dude, is just the real estate stuff is just cranking right now. Like everything's been big. Property evals, home life, yeah.
There's a lot involved. I mean, to be able to put all the work in that you want to put in, heard this for multiple different scenarios. You set your bar here at the beginning of the year. If you don't want to end here, but if you can end in the middle somewhere,
Above the middle, yeah.
You did good. Middle above.
Yep.
If you can hit 500 above of your projects or your plan,
Yep.
you did good on average blue collar lifestyle.
Yeah.
It's tough getting out there doing all that stuff with a family, with
young
full-time
kids,
job, and then the summer, got something going on every weekend, and you just need a weekend to go, trim your stands or get your plot in or whatever it is. Life's cranking. You literally do it when you have time and hope for the best.
Yep.
At least that just kind of seems to be the point of where the life I'm living in right now.
Yeah. So, like with the cameras, dude, did I want to go set, a dozen trail cameras that one day, 92 degrees out? No. But guess what? I had the time and I had somebody to watch Nora. Because I'm not going to drag her out in it's 90 either. Like that's hard on the kids. And kids ended up allergic reactions, sumac tea.
Sumac tea.
No, I'm good. I think it's just my eyes are getting heavy from the long day, dude, at this point, you know. I was telling Nate, it's just like drilling and tractor work and stuff like that. It's nice, you know, there's some therapy side to it. But when you're on that tractor for like 7, 8 hours at a mile and a half an hour running the drill, it's like, and you're like, I think I made that pass. And then you're kind of looking at it and you're still driving, you don't want to stop, but it's like, okay, yeah, I can see him. I can see my groove line from my cutter. So I'm like, okay, so, but yeah, it was it drilled in nice. I mean, kind of shout out to Wayne County, rent their drill. You know, if anybody's looking to do it, you got to have a bigger tractor. I mean, mine's way undersized for it. But as long as I'm not pulling up hills and stuff like that, it runs pretty good. Uphill, it's fine going uphill. It's just kind of downhill is a little sketchy because it's like a pintle hitch, I think you call it. So it's got like the bull ring, and so it kind of wants to slide and jacky going down a hill. Yeah. So that's the only sketchy part. You kind of feel it pushing you a little bit.
On your tractor isn't really.
It's not made for it. Yeah, they're a 70 horse, I think, and I'm pulling it with like a 50. So
The tractor could use a little more weight behind it for that, but it got the job done.
yeah, it's drilled corn. We'll see how it does drilling drilling Nebraskas in and stuff like that. Big thing is I just wanted to get a little cut on the surface because of how hard it was. To be able to drop that seed down right behind it. So had to get it calibrated, had to get, the backpacker wheel set so it wasn't dropping it down so deep. The cutters weren't, burying it like I was burying corn basically.
Yeah.
So yeah, and the seed rate was looking good for, as it was coming out of the hopper, I can kind of judge that. I stopped partway through the field, check it and see. So it's definitely a great tool if you got the tractor to use it. I think it's a really good fit for something. They're talking about getting a smaller 3.1. So I'd be curious how that ends up working out going forward. Oh, sorry, I'm just freaking tired. Everybody's gonna say you need a coffee, falling asleep.
Well, we're at that hour mark.
Yeah, we're right there at the hour mark, dude. So hopefully, that was the other thing that we had that got us a little bit of a late start. We wanted to make sure we got the sponsors in the outro video. So we redid the outro video a little
We
bit.
did the outro video, so if you're interested, just kind of hang around instead of just clicking it off and watch the outro video.
Yeah, check it out. It's brand new.
Brand new tonight.
Yep. Did it start? Got it whipped up a little over an hour ago. Literally.
I guess we'll give it to you here.
Yep. So, thank y'all. Somewhere other than a snowball, Mike, because it might be the second one that's crapped out on us. And
They do work.
we'll kind of give it a once over. But thank you all for tuning in. Thank you to Found Us Know.
We'll get them to you.
Yep.
It'll be a fun event. Hanging out, a bunch of other hunters, talking deer hunting, having some drinks, eating some quote from multiple people last year. Best chicken barbecue they ever had.
I think that was said quite a few times actually.
Multiple.
Yep. So, and some people that have been begging us that even if we don't do a party, gotta have Nate make some of his chicken for me. So
I can't take all the credit. My brother, he definitely helps out a lot with that. Sam will be there. He already said he volunteered to help me out with the cooking. I'll be in charge of the food. Sounds like Ben will be there doing the raffles. We'll have a volunteer in the novelty shoot and all that, and looking forward to it. I think it'll be fun.
Yep, it'll be a good time. New location. It's the first kind of party actually that we've done. Second barbie, first party, and like I said, it's all going to youth outdoor activities, FFA, shooting sports, something along that line. Here local in the area. We figure that's a better use of the the dollar and the proceeds from it. So
Yeah, we're trying this. Last year we did the lifetime license of the winner's choice, and we're trying this, see how it goes. Try and error as we go.
yep, yep. And if you're interested in donating like a raffle basket or something like that, put your signage or cars out
Sumac lemonade basket, Dan.
with a fish head.
Yeah, with a fish head mount.
Yeah. So, yeah, dude. I mean, if anybody's interested in doing that, we'd be happy to have your cards or your signs for something you make or do.
Dan's witchcraft basket.
Yeah, yeah. Little, what'd you call it before? A witch doctor.
And the witch doctor's basket
Yeah, with Dahmer taxidermy,
with Dahmer taxidermies.
co-branded, But all right, guys. Well, good weekend. Do your rain dance.
Need rain.
Yep, we need rain. So, thank you all for tuning in. Appreciate it. Thank you to the sponsors of the show, and catch you all next time, guys.
See ya.
See you.